Good morning, everybody. I've been messing around trying to see if I could get the on-screen chat to work, so we'll see. Hmm. We are stitching this morning. As you can tell, I'm just getting up. It's early, but part of that is because I stayed up really late, finishing QS Ladybugs last night. Good morning, Holly. How are you this morning? Oh, it's working on this screen. We'll see if it works on the live screen. Good morning, John. Yeah, I had every intention of making myself some nice tea this morning to go with or to sip on while we were here. And then I got a phone call. Hey, Kate. I got a phone call and got interrupted. It's okay. So, first I'm going to work on Phantom because that's our daily 100 this week. And then I was like, I don't know what I want to work on after that. Betty. Good morning, Betty. Is it seriously Friday the 13th? Oof. Doing good. Had breakfast, have coffee, and stitching. That sounds like a wonderful morning. I did not even realize it was Friday the 13th. I also forgot I have plans this afternoon, so like I'm gonna have to bail from stream like pretty quick. Um, I forgot that the produce truck is in town today till 1 o'clock. So at noon I need to be getting out. Um, and then I have my appointment tomorrow, and it looks like I might be working tomorrow night. So it's gonna be a hectic weekend, but it's okay. It's all good things. Now, okay. I'm gonna change screens and we'll see if we get to keep the chat or not. Like, it uses the same whatever for both screens, but it works on one screen and doesn't work on the other. I don't get it. I might get it. Hold on, let me. Oh, no, it's there today. All right, let me put the color source behind it. Yeah. Happy days. All right. So we are going to work on Phantom today. Just kidding, I didn't grab my tablet. I'm in the car riding on the way to an eye exam. Ooh, good luck with your eye exam. And I don't have any humans to go and get my tablet for me, so I'm going to have to go get it. Yep. Yep. All right. I will be right back. But at least we can see the chat on screen today. Oh. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right. Let's get some stitching in today. I need to go do an eye exam soon too. Need new glasses. Lexi needs new glasses. I'm gonna play my game a little bit too. Hoping to finish Christmas house today. You can do it, Holly. I believe in you. Oh, so I brought with me to show y'all I finished QS Ladybugs last night. That's why I'm tired, because I stayed up till 1 o'clock doing it. So here is Ladybugs. Isn't it beautiful? I love the like sketched look, you know? Here we go. You see? This was finish number 7 out of 11 for Finish That Stitch December. I think we're doing good on time. And I say that next week I'll be in a complete panic when we don't have all of them done, but you know. So, all done. It doesn't it? I'm so excited. So excited. So, I'm really working to try and get some of these finishes knocked out, start out the new year with a fresh whip list that consists of things that need the focus. I agree. That leaf looks wonky. Okay, Kate. Which leaf? Which leaf? Um, I agree. I do know some people that were like, are you going to color the ladybug in? I've seen where some people basically use it like a coloring book, right? You put in the outline and then pick the rest yourself. And I was like, no, I like that sketched look. I like, it's really, it's what appealed to me the most, I think. I mean, I have an affinity towards ladybugs, but it was the look that sketched is why I like the Britter kitties so much, because they're not even clothes sketch. They're just like you took a calligraphy pen and made a cat real quick. It's beautiful. Oh, I'm apparently welcoming a new character. Oh no, I have to buy the character. I hate when that happens. All right. I'm just catching up on my game real quick. While we get started. Okay, so today we're doing the wonky thing. Kate's got that word in my head. There are 4 rows left in this bottom block. Okay. There are 4 rows left in this bottom block, and then I'm gonna do 6 rows to on the one next to it. Normally, I would jump back up and go to the top, but I don't want to have to do a partial block. I like my full blocks, so we're gonna do the partial block right next to it before we come back up here. So today's stitching is gonna be just a little funky, but it's okay. It's what happens when you hit the end of the project. Mhm. My body is not awake yet. Like I set my alarm for 8:30. That's not enough time to get ready for this. But I knew with me going to bed after 1 a.m., I needed it. And I had to get up when Casey got up this morning to make sure stuff got done that needed to get done. So, alrighty, Phantom. Oof. So this block has 1, 2, 3. Does it really? It does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 parked threads for a 4 by 40 block. 13 parked threads for a 40 uh, block thing. Let me just pull up real quick to make sure. Okay. And so that's going to be interesting. And I apparently parked the same symbol twice in 2 different places. I hate when I do that. All right. So lift all the parked threads up and out of the way. Let's see if we can get y'all in a better position. And I'm going to start with the bottom left most parked thread, because I know that it's not going to interfere with any of these other threads. It's probably, look, it's 2 stitches right next to each other and then gone and away. This one does park over here. I may get a couple phone interruptions as we're trying to coordinate. Um, trying to coordinate work. They? Okay. We have been working some private events as security guards, and so they have one tomorrow night. My husband worked out a contract to be able to work it, and turns out that their other contract, the contract in order to lease the building requires two guards. So it looks like I'm probably going to be working tomorrow. So, and that pretty much affirms that anytime they have an event and they call us, that we both have to work. So there's that. But let me tell you, one night of work and we pay our rent for the month or our mortgage for the month. Sounds pretty good to me. All right. This is another one that got parked twice. So I'm only going to work the ones down here where it's not parked. Like, I'm not going to stitch that one where it has one parked, and we'll just work it whenever we get to it. It's a fun event. It's a graduation dance. So I don't expect they have to have security guards because there's going to be alcohol on the premises, but I don't suspect a lot of issues with said alcohol. Um, Due to the nature of the event. Like, if we were just hosting an adults party, like the first one we did, um, the first one we did was a 16-year-old's birthday. Like, the adults are the problem, not the kids, right? And we had to escort one person to their car and make sure they got in the passenger seat, not the driver's seat. But that was it. No harm, no foul. Super easy. So I don't expect tomorrow night to be any different. There will be music. There was music at the Sweet 16 too. I have to admit, I did some singing and watching. So the Sweet 16 that we did was our. So how we ended up with this gig is there's a guy we used to work with at our security that ended up going into a different field of work, but he's very involved with his community, and so he noticed that they had a lack of security people available. Like, people were having to hire the cops, and the cops charge more, and other reasons that people would rather have a security guard. So he reached out to us for his daughter's birthday and was like, "Hey, you want to do this for me?" And like, not as a favor, like as work. And he got us connected with the county, and the county's like, "We don't have any security guards on file, so we'll call you with every event that goes on where they need security." Now, the people can always choose to go with sheriffs instead, but again, we charge a little less. Um, so anyways, it was a friend's birthday party that we were at, and it was fun watching him and him sweep his wife around the dance floor, and his daughter. They had a daddy-daughter dance to start it off, and it was it was super sweet. And I've known the girl since she was 6, I guess. So I was actually at the parents' wedding because they didn't get married till she was a little bit older, but it was neat. So, and they fed us. They gave us catered food and cake and all that good stuff too. Right, yeah. Yep, it was fun. Um, the next day's a little hard because these events are on Saturday nights and I work Sundays. So, we'll get home 1 or 2 in the morning, and I have to turn around and go to work at 3:30. Well, I get up to go to work at 3:30, and I don't actually work till 6, but it's a long drive. But luckily Sundays are really slow, so it's okay. I'll take a nap right before we go. Well, if I can manage it, because like I said, we have an appointment tomorrow afternoon also. And then I've got to figure out, apparently my little cousin is graduating college tomorrow. So I need to get with my in-laws and see if they're going, and if so, then they can get the kids from us so the kids can at least go, because Casey and I are not going to be able to. Well, and Lexi has a basketball game, so I don't know. Do you own the business? The one I work for, like Sunday through Wednesday, I work for a company. But the the little side jobs we're doing, I mean, I guess I do. We haven't really established like a business for it. We're just on hand, but it's something worth considering, especially if there's a time when I can't be the second person and we need to bring somebody else in. It's something, a business is probably going to need to be established at some point. We'll see. So far, this is only the second thing we've been hired for, so we hadn't gone so far as to create a business for it. But my Sunday through Wednesday job, like, I'm also a security guard on those days. And I work for a security company, but my security company has a contract with the solar panel construction sites. So like where they're being built. And I really like it. It's very laid back and chill. Like I sign people in all day long, but it's not like there's only certain times that are super busy. So in between times I get to stitch, which is great. It's a job that works really well for me. Make sure I get into the correct place. I don't know if my phone vibrating is messing with the mic like the other mic that I had used to pick up on my phone vibrating. So I'll move it over to the other table just to be safe. I still want to spend a day out here cleaning up and reorganizing, but I haven't gotten around to it lately. Did I park that where I was supposed to? Oh no, because the thread was almost done. Park that over there to be clipped because we don't have anywhere to put that. Here's the other one I did twice. And basically what probably happened is I always park in the top leftmost um, spot. And this one has one on the very top row, but it also has one on the very far left. So if I was coming from the left, I probably parked it closest over there. Need to organize, but I'd rather stitch. Exactly. Then get mad at myself for stitching so I stitch more. I completely understand that. Like, that's what I think. I'm like, I could come out here and knock this out in probably a couple hours. But that's a couple hours I could be sitting around stitching. So I also need to do it when I'm body doubling, like if I get on Zoom and hang out with friends, because just being out here it's not enough. It's not a motivating enough. And I thought, ooh, I can do that this weekend because the other problem I have sometimes is that if my husband's in the house sitting there watching TV, I want to be in the house sitting and watching TV, right? Well, and stitching. Um, but he's at work right now. So it would be an opportune time to get it done because I don't have that pull to be in the house. But then I have lots of plans today. So especially with tomorrow getting even busier. I need to make sure some of the house stuff gets done today. Because now we have an appointment at noon that is 2 hours away. So we have to leave the house by 10 in the morning. And then we have to possibly meet up with my in-laws so that the kids can go to my cousin's graduation. And then I've got to get home and get a nap in so I can work tomorrow night. Because the party's from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. So, and considering I normally go to bed at like 9 p.m., definitely gonna need a nap before that. Here we gonna park this one. Yes, we are. Which means the second instance of this will not get parked. It will just get snipped. Okay, let's get some of the chaos out of the way. Gotta grab our thread. This one has one stitch. And I'm gonna do something a little off kilter here. And that is, there's nowhere in the block directly to the right to park this thread. So ideally I would clip it. However, there is a ninja stitch of this color in the block just above said block directly to the right. And so in order to not have to go and pull a thread, do a stitch in the stitch, I'm just going to go ahead and park this one up there in the middle of this chaos. So I got to kind of pull it out of the way. And it's going to go right here, I think. So sometimes I have to call audibles like that are a little outside of my rule spectrum, but do save me time and energy. What is a ninja stitch? So in this block, this 100 by 100 block, it would be a single stitch of that color on that pattern. It's just kind of a ninja that sneaks in there and it's just a single stitch of that color. Sometimes it can be like maybe 2 or 3, but not really more than that, you know. And it's usually, so basically you would have to start a thread for the one stitch, and then in that thread they can be a bit annoying when you're working on a full coverage design. That stitch parked right over there. Like I actually have 2 ninja stitches uh, in here. So I have these 2 parked threads left that will cover most of the colors, but there are 2 single, okay, let me show you. Do, do, do. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can get this in. Okay, do you see how there's one symbol of that color, one symbol of that color? Those are 2 individual ninja stitches. They have no other colors in this area. Now they might park over here, which would be really nice, but they're just single stitches. And I didn't have anything parked for them prior, so I'm gonna have to pull them out, put them on, take them off. They're just a little time consuming when you're trying to get through it all. What's bad is when you'll have like a 10 by 10 block, so 100 stitches, and 60 of them will be ninja stitches. Those are, and I don't know if all designers are really bad about that, but I know Hayes in particular are really bad about the ninja stitches. And sometimes they're necessary, but as much as they're in here, I wouldn't say they are. Like, they almost overdo the whole. You feel like it's stuff that can be cleaned up, especially when it's like, oh yeah, confetti. Yeah. So confetti is when you have a bunch of ninja stitches or, um, symbols that are only in there for 3, 4, 5, no big blocks like what I had down here. And, and it's especially annoying when it's like one shade difference between this one and you have one of each. You're like, you really couldn't have made both of those the same shade? Like, would it have made that big a difference? So, good morning. Hey, Enid, welcome in. Some full coverage designers are better at the cleanup than others. That's what I've been told. I've only, I have yet to purchase a full coverage from any other designer, because I realized about the time that I stopped buying from Haid that I didn't need all the full coverages in the world. Um, so I haven't experienced it myself, but I have heard that from quite a few people. So it's something to think about. Unfortunately, you have to buy said designs before you can see whether or not they're cleaned up, right? You can't be like, well, these two different full coverage designers both have this pattern. Let me see which one I would rather have based on things like ninja stitches. So, especially when you're buying a digital product, so then people don't tend to refund digital. Pain-free crafts. Are you recommending them, Kate? I have not stitched on any of their stuff. I've been wanting to get like a charting creations. I've heard their stuff's pretty good. But I have like 8 full coverages right now. So Kate is recommending pain-free crafts if you're looking at full coverages. So I have a hard time with the idea of buying more when I've still got to get through these. That's not the case with normal cross stitch because I'm better at focusing on them than I am the full coverage. So sometimes the fact that I decided to stitch this on a yellow fabric makes it a little hard to see the small spots that I haven't stitched yet. I mean, I manage, but it makes it hard. Four things. You like Nikki's? Nikki is charting creations. And it's my understanding that Nikki used to work for Haid, and So that's where she got her start. I was supposed to park that thread and I just randomly stuck it somewhere. Stars. I'm stitching a Tilton. They have done ninja stitches, but not that bad. I mean, you're going to get them. Sometimes they're necessary, but it's the level, right? Morning, I love watching your advents and your blogs. Thank you, Victoria's Crafty Room. Welcome in. Um, I know I haven't posted yesterday's or the day before's advents because I was so lazy yesterday. There's there's no tiptoeing around. Like I could have. I looked at my tablet a few times. I'm like, I need to put my vlog together and post it, and then I just didn't. So it'll go up today. They'll both go up today. It's another thing I need to get done once we're done here. You can't even tell, like, I still need stitches here. It's crazy. And then we still got to do 6 rows on the next block. It's like, oh, it's almost filled in. We're almost done. Nope. This will be 40 stitches. We still need 60 more. Because unfortunately, I didn't tell myself a block a day. I told myself 100 stitches a day. Okay, and this one is also going to be a ninja stitch up here, so we'll just go ahead and park it. Make it a little easier on ourselves. But it's like in the middle of everything. That block's gonna be fun to work because it's got all the colors in it. Like, again, just to kind of give you an idea. Nah. I know I'm showing pattern, but I'm showing you one block. Like, if you can stitch this whole picture from one block, I commend you. Um, if you see all the triangles, all the orange triangles, that's all a parked thread. So that it's crazy and busy, but it also means I'm not constantly having to go to the floss card and pull the flosses. We're gonna have them all there and ready for us. So that's really nice too. So, and then, like I said, I start at the bottom most and I work my way. So I would do that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And the chances of us having to pull a floss for that is not impossible, but probably very unlikely. Okay, we've got one more color before we move over and things get really crazy. And it is 422. How many more stitches do I have at 422? 91. Okay, well, this one strand that's left is not going to get me 91 stitches. So I'm going to end up having to pull floss. What's that? That's cool. Just got an email that, or a text message. The car insurance is going down. That's nice. I might have to do something about this chair. It just doesn't do anything for my back. Unless I'm like way back here and then I'm close enough to my stitching. Oops. Sounds windy outside. It's gonna be. Let's see what the weather's like today. We like our daily weather reports here on my channel. So, oh, the high is 72. It's supposed to get a little bit warm today. It's currently 55. I feel like 72 is a little warm for December personally, but some people are gonna like it. And this one can be clipped. So that block is complete. Now we're going to move directly to the right, which is not something I would typically do, going in the diagonals that I go. But because these are partials down here, um, yeah, we're working directly to the right, which means I need to get all these parked threads that are up here out of my way. So we're going to clean up. Syracuse is sunny and 22 feels like 10. Wow. I don't hate it. Sunny and cold, I can totally do. It's the windy and cold that gets really difficult. I'm gonna, so what I'm gonna do is I know that this is the top leftmost stitch for this block. So I'm gonna go just above it and kind of slide my needle through and then separate so that I know I can't talk with that in my mouth. Like this goes down and that goes up. It's kind of like separating your hair, your part. Now this one actually needs to go up because, okay. So now these are all parked threads we're actually going to work with. I think. I'm not quite sure about this one. I don't see it on my chart, but that doesn't mean anything. You're 17 and sunny, and John's in New York also. Enid, apparently the 13th box in my Caterpillar Cross Stitch Advent box is very exciting. I need to find my coffee and get cracking on my Flossmas video. You do that. Hey Candy, how are you this morning? Garner, North Carolina, sunny 46, high of 55. That's my weather right there. Absolutely. I always tell my husband, I can do the 40s, sunny, no wind, no problem. I could probably even do 20s and 30s. But with the wind, don't catch me below 70 because it's too cold. The wind just makes it so much worse. So I'm going to take not those, all of this. I have to move y'all out of my way for just a second. I'm going to get a better boom arm at some point. All right. I'm going to tie it up out of the way. I'm going to make this a little tighter further up so that it stays kind of out of our way. I do kind of want to put magnets on these just to kind of keep them where I want them. So I made it a little loose on this side and tighter on this side so that it stays up there and out of my way. Glad to be hanging out. Can't focus on work. 37 in Betty's part of Tennessee. Well, we're glad you're here, Candy. Are you getting to stitch or are you just relaxing for a little bit? All right. So I'm gonna work. Oh, and here's the other thing. I'm only gonna work, there's 7 blocks. I'm only gonna work 6 of them. So I need to move these out of my way also because we will not be doing those today. It's going to be really crazy next time because it'll be 1 block here, 7 blocks here. That's 8. So we'll still need 2 rows. It's there's probably a better way to do this, but I do things my own way. 29 degrees in Pennsylvania. Hmm. I need to see if this is. I roughly remember parking that yesterday. So I think that's right. So we're going to start with this one. Acting like I'm working. Can't stitch until later. Awesome. I park them in the top. Okay, so I stitch top left, bottom right, top, and then and then the other way, right? Because sometimes I start at the bottom, sometimes I start at the top. That doesn't really matter. But so I always come up wherever I would start a stitch. So in the top left-hand corner of the top rightmost, no, sorry, top leftmost instance of that symbol. And then I'll work from bottom to top. So if this is the top rightmost of this stitch, I know that there are no other stitches up here and it's not going to get in anybody's way. And so I can stitch it and park it because there is a place to park it. And then, so I park from top to bottom and then I stitch from bottom to top so that you're not having to cross over your parked threads at all. Welcome in Stitches with Ebony. This makes your workday go faster. That's great. I watch lots of lives too during work because it does. It seems to make it so much smoother. So I'm going to count real quick. And so that is where I will park it over there. Let me, before I get confused, where are my scissors? I'm going to clip some excess threads over here that are just parked out of the way. I mean, not parked, but dead threads. So that we don't get confused. Gonna highlight. I use Pattern Keeper, so I highlight the one I stitched. I double click this one and it puts a little parked symbol. So now I know when I come back to stitch, if I miscounted this one by one or two in any direction, and I go, okay, I'm supposed to have a park stitch right here. That one must be supposed to be here. So it's one of the reasons I really love Pattern Keeper for parking because I'm human and I make mistakes and I don't count so good. So Mm, I don't, the randomness of songs that get stuck in my head. Okay. This has one stitch and then it does not park anywhere. So we're just going to kind of pull it off to the side and I will clip it at the end. And we're going to highlight it. Next. So you can see we're picking up these parked threads. Bottom left is where you start. Yeah, I've been called a weirdo because I do it opposite of most people. I find that mo- all, okay, in my friend group, I think there's one other person that stitches like me and everybody else does the opposite. I'm the weird one. So, it's all good. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. Stitching is supposed to be relaxing. You're not supposed to have to overthink it. And if I were to try and go with the crowd, I would have to overthink it until my body got used to the oppositeness. So I just go with it. But having these park threads, you can see where it's a little bit quicker to pick up a thread and work on it than it would be to pull it off the floss card, start the stitch. So we're 3 strands in already. Oops. And sometimes I forget to mark a part stitch and then I'm like, where did this thread come from? And it's not in the uppermost place. Yep, that's how I stitch, Betty. Top left to bottom right. Do 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 do. Yep. I always something is not right. I, something is not right. Um, I always explain it to people is I stitch like I write. So I start at the top left of a piece of paper. Let's say I'm making an L, down, over, you know? And so that's how I stitch, down, over. Been gone for stitching for a year. Now I'm back and doing whip go with 50 whips. So do you have 2 boards or do you have 2 per square on the 25 board? I'm going to have to watch your lives more. I need to learn parking for Purple Rain. I would recommend Jessie Marie has a parking explanation video that's how I learned and I've made changes that work for me, but that's the base that I started with and and she like draws pictures and diagrams and 2 boards. Nice. You have as many whips as I am old. I'm hoping to be at like 26 after finish that stitch December. Okay, so what did I do there? I'm gonna have to fix something. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to explain and show you whatever you like if you ask questions here. But I always that's where I learned. That's where I started. So I recommend it. Because I waffled on a few full coverages until I learned that. And it made the most sense to my brain. Of course, a lot of Jesse and I, like, our brains both work cohesively and completely opposite of each other at times. It's kind of scary, and it's totally awesome to find that connection with somebody, especially like, how did I meet Jessie? I started watching her YouTubes a long time ago and got up the will to talk to her, and then before I knew it, we were talking all the time. Um so I mean, I worked the wrong thread earlier. Frog. It wasn't a big it wasn't a big problem. We got it. I think I'm gonna do Whip Go next year like I did this year, in that um I will have spots on my board for all the spots on my board will have a name of somebody in it, and then that person will pick and choose what they want me to work on. It just worked out really well this year. This year's the first year I completed Whip Go. Well, I say that I haven't finished December, but up until now, I have completed every single month. And I think part of that is because I felt, what's the word I'm looking for? Not responsible, but like, um, accountable by, like, for example, Kate was one of my pickers this year. Kate would pick my whip, and I felt accountable to her to show her, hey, I actually completed it. So then at the end of the month, I would send her a before and after picture and be like, this is what you did for me. So that's why having somebody else pick my whips is what works best for me, because it holds me accountable. Otherwise, I could be like, I don't compelled. That's another good word. Yeah, I didn't want to let people down. And I knew that, like, everybody on my board would be like, okay, whatever. But it's still just that feeling of, look, I accomplished this. I did what you asked me to do. Look how cool it looks. Because my minimum is 500 stitches, and that is significant. Why did I pull my needle off? It's significant enough progress that when I send you a before and after picture, you're going to be able to see, oh, hey, she actually stitched on it. So that's just what works for me. Some people are really good about, okay, WIPGO got called. That's what I'm going to work on this month. Because sometimes you don't even set a goal, right? You're just like, okay, that's my pick. But as somebody who changes whips every single day, um, I need I I need there to be a goal. Otherwise, you could get 30 stitches out of me on that whip for that month. I try not to stitch any less than 100 stitches in a day, but it happens sometimes. All right, we got that fixed. I don't know why that one was parked so weird, but anyway. So now I'm doing Whip Go this year. I've done it before, but never completed it. I mean, I'm doing it in 2025. Yeah, I get you. At this point, for me, December is like the in between month, right? We work on things January through November, and we spend December like clearing the palette and getting ready for 2025. 200 stitches in each whip. That's great. That's good progress, especially if you have 50 of them, right? Um, and you always need to make your goals whatever makes sense for you. Like, I try and get 1,000 on each of my whips within the year, not necessarily within a month, because I know I can. In fact, I may need, well, this year it was 2,000. I may bump it up for next year. But make sure there are goals that push you to get a little bit more done, but also are reasonable and you can actually accomplish. Because if you put a goal outside of your accomplishment, you're not even going to try. Okay, so I'm at the eye center. So if we're guessing on stitches, oh, okay. I'm guessing 187. Sounds good. I got you, Betty. I gotcha. You're doing 2,500 for 2025? That sounds like a plan, Kate. Let's do it. But my full coverages, I'll probably put more. Okay, we're gonna start Betty off with 187. And I'm pretty sure she meant happy stitching to everyone. Yeah. I like making boxes and checking things off. It gives me a sense of accomplishment just seeing those checks. I get that. That's where like my whippagories and my focus pieces come in. You know, they're personal challenges for me, and I have them in my notions with little check boxes, and every month as I get them done, I'm like, yeah, look at me go. The last of my Stitch Christmas gifts are on their way and IRC tomorrow. Time to get wrapping. Very nice. I need to do some wrapping too. Spent this month setting things up ready to finish next year. Exactly. This month is a palette cleanser. I spend all of December just trying to finish those things that are close enough to get finished and, um, you know, getting revamped, getting all my plans in for next year. Because if I'm still working on something, it's hard for me to set a plan on it until I'm done working on it. So, like, I have this piece that I'm going to sell next year. I'm going to split it into 12 pieces, complete one piece each month, and see it finished in December. Well, I don't want to work on it some more this month and mess up my numbers of how I'm dividing it. So the fact that I've already done all the stitches I'm going to do on it this month means I can start planning. So that's why, and then it's hard to have a whip list for next year if I'm still finishing stuff. So December is kind of a palette cleanser for me and trying to set up for next year. All the plans happen this month. 2,500 for each whip is big, but I also get a lot of stitching time. I average 500 stitches a day. Um, regularly. Like I said, that's my average. I have days that are lower, I have days that are higher. So it's a nice middle ground. So it's something I can achieve, but that's not for everybody. If somebody works all day, every day, and they get 100 stitches at night, that's what's important to them. So it's not, I like to challenge myself. Mine was 2,000 for all my whips this year. I started out the year with 40. I've added some throughout the year. And I manage, but for me, if I have a new start, the goal is only 500. So those are in there, but I've gotten my 2,000 on all 40 of those whips throughout the course of the year. That's my yearly goal. That's not my whip go goal. My whip go goal is always just 500. Why? I didn't mark some of these park stitches. With me going into the new year with, you know, 11 less whips because I'm finishing 11 projects this month. Um, it's easier to up my goal because instead of having 40, I'm going to have like 26, I think I figured out. Um, and then I have plans. I have plans. 28 for you. Put a lot in hibernation. When didn't you originally try and get down to 25? And is that 28 carryover, or is that accounting for a couple new starts that you have going on in January? Good morning, Jesse. Were your ears burning? I saw your videos up and I wanted to go watch it, but I woke up 10 minutes before stream, so I had to focus on this first. Listening while starting my workday. Awesome. Holly says, good morning, Jesse. I know it's a little weird we're here on a Friday, but I have a appointment tomorrow that interfered. Good evening, Susan. How are you today? Oh, my tablet's about to die. We got to do something about this. I gotta get a charger. 25 with 3 full coverage. Okay, no spots for starts. We'll see. They were burning, but I just finished listening to a spicy book, so I figured that was why. Um, there's no charging port on this computer. Just have to reach. Where's my charger? Okay. What book did you just finish? I'm curious. I need to know this. Um, we were talking about parking, and I was recommending your parking video, but WhipGo talk has also been pretty prevalent in here, so we got a new year coming up and all the new WhipGo boards. We are melting here with no rain, but other than that, all good. Oh goodness, is it warm? It's cold here. Do you see me in a sweater? It's cold. And no, I won't trade because I like the cold. That away. American King by Sierra Simone is a third in the trilogy and your favorite of the three. That's saying something because you know how, um, well, it's usually the second book, right? That's the hardest to get through, but you know how series can do. Sometimes they get better and better, and sometimes they don't. Casey is working today and probably going to finish the book today, so I'm not going to get to see him finish it. We were talking about it last night, and I was like, I kind of wanted to make you wait and be home with me when you read the last chapter. But considering how close he was to that, I wasn't going to make him sit there all day with nothing to listen to. He was even asking me, is the second book already on my phone? Like, I can just hop right in? Yep. It's just under 100. I also love the cold to roll on January. I'm going to Scotland. Very nice. I want to go to Scotland. Enid says, I've lost count of my whips. It has to be way over 30 by now. Not good. Hey, you got people in here with hundreds of whips, so yeah, book 2 didn't end on a major cliffhanger. I might not have finished the series. Yep. Goodness, what am I doing? Okay. Those are rookie numbers. I mean, I think I got up to 70 or 80. Um, and decided that I didn't personally like not being able to touch all my whips within a certain amount of time, so that's why I've been trying to get down to 30. 30 is my golden number. Um, but other people, they work through it just fine. If we don't get a live reaction to the end of book one, I'm gonna need the live reaction to the end of book two, right? I'm wondering if I can talk him into book two because I kind of want the recap before book three comes out next month. So, but let me tell you, the text messages I've been getting are just to die for. They're great. And it's so funny because my husband is not a reader. Like, books are not his thing, have never been his thing. The fact that I kind of, okay, I hope that didn't mess with my sound too much. The fact that I got him into this audiobook is just beyond great. Those of you who put whips in hibernation, do you plan on bringing them out this year when you finish things, next year, or whenever you feel like it sometime in the future? So I am putting a few things in hibernation this year, and it will they will come in. Okay, so the way I chose to put things in hibernation was based on designer. So if I have three projects for Mirabilia, actually I think it's three, three or four. Let's say three. I'm going to keep one active. I'm going to put two in hibernation. The two in hibernation can come out in one of two ways. Either I finish the one that's active, or I finish a specific goal on the one that's active and then I'll swap them. But I will make that goal bigger than just getting my yearly goal on it. It's going to have to be significant progress for me to swap them out personally. Enid says, possibly a whip or two I just deconstructed and disseminated the threads. I was never going to finish it. So I think everybody kind of has a different plan for how they handle their hibernating whips. I know my friend Vic, um, if sometime during the year she just gets a hankering for one of the ones in hibernation, then she'll bring it in. Um, it Everybody kind of does it differently. Me personally, they either have to be finished or they have to hit a significant goal. Probably like double the yearly goal in order to be switched out. So I think that's a particular series is a good gateway. I wish I could convince Danny to read or listen, but we'll just have to wait for the show whenever that actually happens. Kate says, unknown, I am fickle. You don't have any particular plan in place, just whatever happens, happens. Um, I knew I could get him into this series because of the dragons. Like, I know he listened to part of, he may not have finished it, one of the Wheel of Time books. He may have finished the first one. Um, and I know like he likes Lord of the Rings, that sort of stuff. So I knew that the dragons would pull him in and that the spicy scenes and the romance would just be kind of the part of the story for him. Um, so I think it's a good one too. I really hope they go through with making the show, but since we haven't heard anything about it for in over a year, kind of on the fence. I don't know. Okay, I see what I did there. And I'm continuing to do it. Even don't you just love when you break your own rules? Okay, we're not. We are. We're going to take this. Gonna stitch these and then repark it. We've already been an hour and a half on this one whip. Oh, lordy. I'm not gonna get anything done today. I don't think that's parked in the right spot, is it? No. What is that? No, that's not today's problem. Alright, this is, of course. I only really got Casey to listen because, like, I listen to books on the way to work. And so he's like, go ahead and listen to your book. I'll just take a nap over here as we drive. And then before he knew it, he was sucked in. And this happened with a couple of books, like where he would really just get whatever the hour got him from home to work. And he would ask me about the book later. He was like interested enough to be like, well, what was the next or what happened here? So I was like, maybe I can get him to, like, we have an audiobook that we listen to together, and then I have my one that I listen to when he doesn't go to work with me. And so I tried it, and before we made it to work, he was like, can you just download that on my phone? And because it's the first book he caught from the beginning, you know? And he's like, and I listen to it while I'm working. And I was like, yeah, okay. So that's what we did. That was Wednesday morning, and he will finish the book today. And I think the book's what, 20 hours or something like that. Even when he got home from work yesterday, was like, I'm going to go in the bedroom and put headphones on. But he learned very quickly if he's not doing something, then just listening to the book would probably put him to sleep. So, and Lexi has the physical book. I need to show him so that he can see like the maps and stuff like that. And having conversations with him about the book is interesting because he's not good at remembering names. So I'm constantly having to kind of decipher what it is he's trying to tell me. And it's been so long since I read it. I'm like, I don't really remember what you're talking about. Did I seriously? I did. That's fine. So I'm trying to get my daily 100 in so that I can start working on my Finish That Stitch December stuff. I have finished 7 of the 11. That was my plan. Good morning, Bubba. How are you?
Sat there for like 20 minutes trying to get your laptop to turn on. The power button is just blinking.
Which laptop?
Black one.
What did you do, Ryan? Is it plugged in?
Yeah. It's just the power button's blinking.
Okay, but who was playing on it last?
Me.
Did you shut it down last night properly?
What? I just clicked the power button and shut it.
That is not how you shut down a computer. How many times have I told you this? I will have to look at it later. I'm busy. And then we have to go somewhere after my stream, so. The produce truck is here today.
How are we gonna get there?
Lexi's car. She'll be back from pictures by then.
Oh. Well, that's where she went.
Yeah, they had basketball team pictures this morning. And then as soon as we're done there, she'll have to leave because she's going to Stanton for a basketball game.
Freshman, junior high.
I don't know.
I don't even know what the team they called it.
JV and varsity?
Yeah.
Are you going up to the burrito place?
I'm thinking about it, but I'm letting my phone charge. It's at like 3%.
Why don't you put it on the charger before you go to bed?
I do.
Then why is it at 3%?
Because I've been on it all morning.
Oh.
What else?
I don't know. I thought you just woke up.
Oh no, I've been up for like maybe since 9.
Gotcha. All right, we have worked all our parked threads and we still have lots of blanks, so we're going to start pulling threads now.
Because I woke up at 7:25, then fell back
Can you
to sleep.
get that water before it falls and spills everywhere? Go pour it outside or something. Where's my...
Bossy, bossy, bossy.
Yep, that's me, bossy. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's my other floss card? Oh, there it is. 356.
Put it right outside the doorway.
Smart. I need to figure out something. I need to be back in a bit. Okay. Good luck figuring out, Enid.
What's this?
It's somebody's guess for the raffle.
187.
Yeah. So I do this thing where,
You count the stitches all at the end, and then people guess.
yeah,
Try to get closest number to it.
correct. So they try and guess how many stitches. Closest without going over wins an entry into the raffle. Betty had to leave early, so she went ahead and put a guess in before she left. She was at the eye doctor. $38.64.
Yeah, I asked a friend what's going on next week, and I'm so confused. I don't know what tests we do and don't have. Especially things, we did 3 of them yesterday. The biology, science, not biology. Oh my lord. Biology, world geography, and Spanish.
Mm. What are you doing?
Just hitting my back.
Ninja stitches. 834. That is not 834.
Is this paperwork?
Should. You see 834.
834?
Down there.
Yeah.
You got it? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go walk up to a burrito place.
Okie dokie.
You sure you don't want at least want a burrito?
You can get me one, please.
Yes, ma'am. What kind? since it'll just be me going against his mom didn't let him
Okay. Bacon and egg?
bacon and eggs.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you. Time to do the preschool pickup.
Wait,
Catch you cool kids later. Bye, Jesse.
what time does breakfast end?
11.
It's 10:38.
Okay.
Probably bean and cheese for both of us.
Yeah, that works. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this thing. I like it.
He just stole my pen. He's like, I'm just gonna keep this. I like it. Teenagers. But he's buying me food, so I guess I'll not complain. All right, what color's next? 8:30. Oh, oops. So distracted. Can y'all believe we're like halfway through December already? Today's payday. It's crazy. Where are my scissors? How many more stitches? Oh, we still have a lot of stitches in this color. We're gonna. This whole year has gone by in a flash. I can't disagree. There was a couple points where I was like anxious for something, so it felt like it was dragging, but for the most part, yeah, moved very quickly. I also am like one of the world's worst about trying to keep Christmas secrets, and I've done all my Christmas shopping, so now it's like I'm just ready. I'm ready for the kids to open their gifts. I don't even have them all wrapped yet. I'm just anxious. And Lexi's suffering a little bit too. I could tell yesterday she was like we were talking about something and she's like, keeping secrets is hard. She's like, I just want to tell you. I'm gonna try my hand at making chicken fried deer steaks tonight. I don't know why we call them. Maybe it's the egg. Is that why we call it chicken fried? This Christmas house is taking forever. I've been monogamous on it for all December so far. Oh goodness. I don't think monogamy is something you much appreciate either, right, Holly? You're somebody that likes to change it up a lot, so that's a little bit of a struggle for you. I'm a little bit more monogamous during December because I'm trying to get things that are close to a finish finished. And even then, I can't stitch on the same thing every day. So, like Fairy Tale Lands, I knew was going to take me some time, so I was working on it every other day until it got finished. Which, because I'm behind on my advents, y'all haven't seen, but I did finish it. I have 4 more projects left to finish. I have Celebrate Halloween, which I know it's close enough to a finish, but I'm not sure like how close. Because like Celebrate Christmas was what, 400 stitches, I think. I think Halloween's going to be a little bit further than that. Black Friday is a Mill Hill kit, which has, I don't know, like 600 stitches in it. Um, so it's going to be a bit, but they still stitch up pretty quickly. Hate Monogamous and Christmas. It's torture. Oh, goodness. Um, February wordplay is going to take the longest because I just started it. Um, but it's not a very big project, so we're probably looking at 4 to 5 good stitching days at most. Um, what else do we have? Black Friday, February wordplay, celebrate Halloween. I'm not sure what the fourth one is. No, there is one. Time crunch, monogamous stitching. Thank you for the follow. I can't read the name. And I'm not trying to butcher that name either. But thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Um, and I'm trying to remember what the fourth one is. I know there's one more. Right. Okay, so we don't have very many squirrels out here, but Ryan just found one and he says he's just living his life, chilling up on that light. He's so cute. I have a thing for squirrels. I don't know what it is. One attacked me when I was little and I still like them. Okay. Um, so time crunch monogamous stitching sometimes puts my stitchy bug on life support. Oh goodness. Yeah. That's why I try not to give myself deadlines. Like I have these goals for finish that stitch December, but if I don't reach them, it's going to be okay. Like I'm not stressing it. Next year I stitch on what I want when I want. It sounds like a good plan. Oh, I parked that there. I did not stitch it. 801. Thinking maybe everybody's guess today should be 100 stitches since it's taking us this long. We're almost 2 hours in for 100 stitches. I know CPR, Holly. I got your back. Kate. However, I enjoy doing Stitch Mania, pick a whip and finish it, and Christmas in July stitching, finish Christmas whip or two in July. Oh, there you go. My favorite event that I do throughout the year, and I know a few people on here that will agree with me, is Arbitrary August. So I put all my projects that haven't hit their yearly goal by August, which is usually quite a few, and I put them on a wheel and I spin every day. And my goal is to try and hit the goal on them. But if I don't, that's okay. I still spin the wheel every single day and work on something different each day. It's fun. Um, Thanks, Kate. I may need it if I don't finish this soon. Shell says Washington State, we get worried when we don't see squirrels. Where I grew up, down in Houston, squirrels all the time. Love squirrels. Um, Moving out here because there's not a lot of trees. I live close to the desert. I don't think we're technically desert, but we're like right there. We don't have a lot of trees, so you don't. We have ground squirrels, but not. But they look closer to like a gopher. Closer, very small. Um, but we don't typically see like tree squirrels like what that picture was. They have planted a lot of trees at our park in the middle of town. And so I think that's why we're starting to see squirrels. I mean, obviously they had to have been here, right? They didn't just migrate from somewhere far away. But um, you see them more. Arbitrary August is so much fun. I love it. I love it. Do it every year. I've been monogamous in stitching since the beginning of November and it's driving me crazy. And I agree, my stitchy bug is protesting. Are you trying to get something finished in time for Christmas? 7:38. The great squirrel migration, right? All of a sudden there's squirrels everywhere. Who knows? When I was in my freshman year of high school, my first day of freshman year of high school, I was walking home and I passed this tree right at the end of the school campus, and there was a squirrel laying there, baby squirrel, cute as could be. I picked it up and took it home with me. And when I got home, I'm like, what am I going to do with this squirrel? So I took my bird out of my bird cage. This is one of my mom's favorite stories, by the way. She absolutely uh, laughs about it all the time. But I took my bird out of my bird cage and I set it on. I had one of those like little play center things for him, and had a bunch of sticks he could walk around on. Anyway, I put him on top of the cage and I put the squirrel in the cage. And my mom gets home from work and she's like, "Why is the bird out of the cage?" And I said, "Because the squirrel's in the cage." They were like, "Squirrel?" And I think my dad was all for keeping it, but mom was like, "No, we're not keeping a squirrel." So we let it go in our backyard and he stayed for many years. Like my dad was like, I always know which squirrel was the squirrel because like it'll come really close and like make its presence known, stuff like that. It was cool. I need to pick a month to stitch Thanksgiving as it gets overshadowed by Christmas and Halloween. This is true. I definitely want to integrate some Thanksgiving pieces because I'm not sure I have any. Yes, I'm 80% on Summer Quaker. You got this. You can do it. Which is part of the problem. I want to stitch on Christmas and Summer is not doing it for me. But it's a gift for my sister-in-law. I mean, the struggle is real. It's like I kind of want to stitch gifts for like my nieces and nephews and stuff like that. And I'm like, but putting that deadline on myself, it's no bueno. It just doesn't work with my type of stitching. Squirrel stitching, that's what. 38:55. It's the last stitch. We're going to get to switch projects for an hour. Stitchy gifts sound great until you have to do it. Yep, absolutely. 38:55. Yeah. Well, and it's like I stitched a gift for somebody a few years ago. I finished it. It's still sitting over there waiting for a fully finish. I really need to do that soon. I say that all the time. My in-laws found two abandoned baby squirrels, bottle fed them, and had them as pets for many years. They're so cute. And when they're not mean, they're really sweet. I did get bit by one when I was a kid. He was mad that I was feeding the skinny squirrels and not him. But I had fed him a lot. And then I was like, no, we need to save some for the other squirrels. And so I started to walk off and it jumped up and bit my finger to get the acorn or the pecan out of my hand. And still, I like squirrels. All right, we got our 100 done. I know it's odd down here, but we got it done. I'm going to take a quick picture and then we will swap projects. What project do we want to work on? I have February wordplay and I have celebrate Halloween. I did not bring Black Friday out here and I still can't remember what our fourth project is. Let me look at my Notion because it's bothering me now. All right, let's see. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, Antique Locks and Keys, my tell end project. Yeah, I don't have it here. So our options are February wordplay or celebrate Halloween. What do y'all want to see? I need to take a picture. Halloween? I knew you would say Halloween, Holly. Would be nice to get an idea of how far that one is from. I took a picture and come here, crazy threads. We're gonna clean this up real quick. Not that, because I'm gonna clip those. Pretty sure I need to clip that one too. Okay. There we go. All nice and tidy. Probably should have done that before I took the picture, but it is what it is. Hmm, 8:34 back up. Here is Celebrate Halloween from Madame Chantilly. Oh, this one's gonna be a bit. Okay. I think I thought I was further on this one than I was. So I don't even have the third tray in yet. It's okay. I still think it's manageable, but it is gonna take some focus. Maybe it's just that it kind of feels like it stitches up really fast. That I thought, oh, that's close enough to be considered a finish. I ordered some more T-pins. I got you, Kelly, 163. Um, I ordered some T-pins so we can start putting fabrics on boards again. Whenever those come in, they come in tomorrow, I think. So next week, we'll do some of that at the beginning of stream. Kelly, 163. Everyone know to guess over 100 because we just did 100 on Phantom. And we have an hour to stitch on this one, so we'll see what we get through. Where's my tablet? Oh, that was scary. I almost knocked the mason jar off the table. We don't need it. Crash, boom, explode. Does. All right, let's see where we're at with this pattern. Oops. Celebrate Halloween. Whew. I can do this. Black Friday and Antique Locks are going to take no time at all. Remind myself of that because February wordplay in this one, probably going to encompass the rest of the month. Holy cow. What was I thinking? Because I still have all of that and all of that. I'm not doing the word Halloween, but that's still a lot of stitching. So let's get started, shall we? Oh, delusional counting. Definitely. Definitely. I'm almost wondering if I should abandon this one and go back to whippoorwies because I haven't even worked on that stuff yet. Okay. It's okay. We got this. One stitch at a time, y'all. One stitch at a time. Sounds like my doodle bug is home. Also, I do have to leave pretty promptly at 12. Um, we have a produce truck that comes into town every so often, and we like to go get some fresh, straight off the farm produce. And it's going to be here from 11 to 1 today. So, going to go do that. And kids from 3 to 17, something like that, they get a bag for free. So when we get there, they're handed a bag and they get to pick whatever they want to put in the bag and don't have to pay for it. So that's pretty cool. We went once this summer, or right at the beginning of the school year, and my kids were very like nervous and, well, let's not take too much because there's other kids that need, but I'm telling you, they bring in a lot. They even put a message up at the end of the day and they're like, we still have da da da. So I told them next time, get what you want. But it was cool because we got a thing of strawberries, a thing of blueberries, some dragon fruit. That's not something that like I go and buy in the store. So it was neat to experience that. Um, some vegetables, carrots and potatoes and tomatoes and cucumbers. Mm. I don't know why I thought I was on the third tier of this thing. Maybe because this is almost to the third tier, but I really thought I was a lot further. It's not like it's hard stitching. I mean, that pumpkin, pretty much all just one color. But I'm the type that when I get too rhythmic with it, I tend to fall asleep. Not really fall asleep, but like get bored. Sounds like somebody's outside weed eating. We haven't had any rain, so I don't know what they're cutting down. My yard just does not grow anything. Not grass, not weeds, nothing. It's barren. Let's take off. Enjoyed stitching with you all. My guess is 182. Have a good day, John. Show us what you stitched. Put it on Instagram. We want to see it. Really love this 40 count per doll, though, y'all. It's like stitching in butter. I mean, hold on. We're going to do this differently. I'm highlighting in yellow just so that I know where I'm at, but I'm not counting until the end. So then we'll go back over it with a colored highlighter when we do our counting. Just want to make sure I don't miss any rows or, get stuff off. All right, where's the floss card? This is not how you're supposed to do this. We did not ask for knots this morning. Pretty good one, too. The heck? Okay, we will deal with that later. Hi, honey. How are you? You visiting us, does that mean you finished? Hey, Enid. Welcome back, Enid. It's good, isn't it? Really enjoy it. You're saving that last chapter for when you get home, right? Just kidding. Are you really? That's crazy. I we're stitching. We're working on a finish that stitch December. One that oh, 2 chapters left. Oh goodness. So exciting. Um this is one that I thought was way closer to a finish than it is. So like I'm second guessing my plans here. But and then at noon the kids and I are going to the produce truck. Gonna get some veggies and some fruits. And then Lexi has to go to a basketball game later. My cat is watching you stitch. She trying to attack the floss. I've had my cats watch TV before. It's very entertaining. What was I watching? Indiana Jones, the very first one. Oh, I guess Lexi just got home. Um, yep. I was watching the very first because I haven't seen several of. I think I've only ever seen one Indiana Jones, and it was the Crystal Skull one. And so, anyways, I was like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch the old ones. And I put it on, and I didn't get very far into it before I ended up turning it off. But the cat was just so into it. You could see his little ears like twitch whenever something happened. Yeah, she watches me play Breath of the Wild. She likes the birds, squirrels, butterflies, anything that moves around the screen. There was one time I was watching a floss tube where my friend's cat was making noise and it got my cats all like, ooh, there's a cat on the TV. That's what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I work with links that are too long for working one strand at a time. That just gets irritating when I constantly make knots in it. Lexi's car went beep. I know people who work with super long links, and I just can't seem to do it without making a total mess of things. See how smooth and quickly this leaf is stitching up? This is why I get delusional in my head, because I'm like, see, this is taking no time at all. We're putting in good stitches. It's only been 18 minutes since we started this project. We're going to get a lot done. As long as I don't get on my phone. That's why it's kind of nice to stitch on these lives, because y'all are holding me accountable. I cannot get on my phone and play. Also means I won't be taking a picture every 100 stitches, so we'll see how that goes. Are there any challenges coming out next year that anybody's really looking forward to? I mentioned earlier that we're doing a full coverage. It's called Stitch to the Moon in Full Coverage Fanatics. So as a group, we're trying to stitch like 238,000 stitches or something to that effect. So I'm going to use Alice for that. She has approximately 35,000 more stitches on her. And oops, I'm talking and not looking at the chart. So I'm hoping to finish her next year. That's a long way from 238,000, but that's why you have a team. Oh man, just destroyed this thread. Darn it. Because I split the thread. Now it's doing all kinds of funky things. Darn it. This is a hazard of working with one strand sometimes, is what we can with that little piece of thread that didn't break. We're gonna, at least we'll be starting off with a smaller strand this time. I think maybe I need to start cutting them in half. Back in business. I'm doing Whipco again next year. I'm doing Whippagories. I did add some categories to the Whiplet or to the Whippagories list, so that should be fun and interesting next year. I've got, of course, my focus pieces that I work on every month. My Sal. When Big Brother rolls around, I plan on playing that again. Well, yep. My lunch has arrived. I love the 1/1 or 1/2, I'm sorry. 1/2 on 40 count. Um, except maybe in the black. The black could be a little more dense, which on the camera, well, I mean, you can see in the pumpkin where there's, you know, not quite as solid as it could be, but it's still not bad. Can you take it and put it in the kitchen? And I'll be in about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, this comes with fries.
I did not know that.
There's fries and tubs, and I knew you usually get fries.
Yeah, can I see? We're gonna try a fry, just because I've never had fries from burrito place before. Have
I
you?
didn't know they had fries.
Oh my goodness. No, there. They're not bad. What's that?
What?
Some sort of sauce in there. Um,
Um,
Lexi just got home, so she wants part of that chicken. Make herself part of it.
chicken? Huh?
The burger. She can cut it in half if she wants.
What burger?
The torta.
Oh,
The brisket torta.
which one?
What's that? Oh, you got her one? I thought you got you. Okay. Well, that was sweet of you.
Hmm?
I'll be in a little bit. Thank you, honey.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you too.
Hey, and whenever I get in there, can I still fry?
Yes.
Try it?
Well, what did I just do? That doesn't go there. He got money from my my grandfather for Christmas. And what has he been doing? Buying everybody else stuff. Like I mean, he bought himself lunch, but he bought me, him, and Lexi lunch. Um, he went to the store yesterday and got everybody a snack, like something he thought they would like. He's so sweet. But money burns a hole in his pocket, so. We're getting through this leaf pretty quickly. I think what I may do is these last 3 projects, not the tail end project, because I can kind of work on it here and there, but the last 3 projects, I may just alternate. Like, I'm going to give this one today, and I'll do Black Friday tomorrow. If I get any stitching tomorrow, let's be real. Um, and then February on Monday, and that's so sweet. Many teenagers aren't like these days. He's a good kid. He is. Don't get me wrong, he has his teenager traits too, but he's a pretty good kid. He's definitely not disrespectful. I mean, sometimes I feel like he takes his jokes a little too far, but he's not disrespectful, and he's not out there doing anything he's not supposed to be doing. He's also not doing stuff he's supposed to be doing, but that's a kid for you. Did finally quiet down last night. I was on Zoom with some friends and he was getting loud playing his game in the other room. But when I went to bed, he definitely, like, I never heard him again. Calmed it down. He is so looking forward to Christmas break. And this is finals week at the high school, which means, like, I think Lexi has to go to 2 classes all week because she's exempted all her other finals. Um, Ryan, I think, can exempt 1, but he also thinks he may have already taken some of them, so he's really not sure what the schedule looks like for him next week. We'll see. My kids don't have school on Fridays, which is why they're both home. We have a Monday through Thursday school schedule. So I do try and plan most of like doctor's appointments and stuff like that on Fridays so that we miss school less. But even a lot of doctor's office, especially the specialists, they tend to take Friday off too. Long as he's not getting into trouble or causing ruckus, then I'd count that as a win. Yep. So far, so good. Like, the couple times he's gotten in trouble at school, it's for retaliating against his bully. Um, he's never initiated anything. Um, whereas, like, I know there's kids in that live nearby that have vandalized stuff or, other. He said he walked in to the bathroom the other day to a whole group of boys passing around a vape. And he was like, I think I need to go this way. Like, walked right back out. So, he could definitely be worse. Guess we're gonna go back up this way. This vine can go up or down, but I guess we'll work back up to this leaf and get it worked. Get it stitched in. Okay, just, double checking. Count twice, stitch once. No frogs here on Friday the 13th. Mm-mm. How's your delusional counting coming, Holly? You got the house done. That's the big part of it. I'm trying to highlight with my left hand. It went okay, but I'm definitely not a lefty. Better late than never. Hey, Janet, how are you this morning? We're still here for about 20 more minutes. Working on some Finish That Stitch December. It's a crowd favorite. It's my favorite. I just enjoy Finish That Stitch December. I look forward to it all year. Yeah, I'm finishing the deer now. Then I just have the sleigh, snowflakes, and border on the right side left. You got this. Cottage garden saplings, they look like reasonable projects, and then they have more stitches than anything. I'm like, how? How? It doesn't look that big. Just finished the dog walk and picking up Opie from the groomer. The puppies are good. Starting off your Friday with a bang. You're getting some stitching in this morning, Janet? Is it time to relax now? For 2 hours before I go to work, so I'm gonna sit and stitch. That sounds like a plan. I have 30 minutes until we have plans, and then I'll get to stitch some in between house chores until about dinner time. I am making chicken fried deer steaks tonight. My father-in-law went hunting while we were out of town last weekend, and they sent some over to us, which is great. But I've never done it before, so it's gonna be a new experience. Well, what did I do there? Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's what I didn't do yet. Okay. New strand. You're gonna get a little bit shorter length because I don't really want to work with something so long again. So anybody that is just joining us, um, we stitched on my mini Phantom of the Masquerade for 100 stitches this morning. And we started on this one about, what time is it? About 35 minutes ago. So, um, if you want to take a guess to try and enter the raffle, be aware it will be over 100 stitches. Um, Everybody tries to guess how many stitches we got while on stream, and closest without going over gets entered into a raffle at the end of the month. Kate was our winner last month. She won a project bag. And Laurel won the month before. She got a magazine and a small project, like a small, fully kitted project. So you're entering the raffle, not really knowing what. I always give two options at the end of the month, and then you get to pick from that. But other than that, you don't know what you're entering all month long because I don't even know what it is yet. I love when people share dinner ideas, always looking for ideas. Me too, I get tired of eating the same things. Yeah, I need to. I was doing really good about when I meal planned each week. I would have like one new recipe. But I've kind of slacked off on that the last couple weeks because we couldn't put in a grocery order right before Thanksgiving. They were too booked up. So I was like, we'll just make do with what's at the house. And then I didn't want to grocery shop the next week because we were going to be out of town that weekend. And I didn't, no sense in having food just sitting. So um, the last couple weeks we've been just kind of managing with whatever's at the house. And then, so I need to get back to finding new recipes, but I do try and couple that I know people like that tried and true and a couple new ones. I try and mix up the proteins so we're not eating the same thing all the time. And I'm trying to like cook dinner every single night. There are times where that doesn't happen, but they're less and less than they were back when I was working nights. So it's one of the what is that? Okay. It's one of the reasons I've considered staying days when we move to a new contract because, you know, I'm cooking for my kids every night, and that's good. Reminds me, I need to talk to Lexi about possibly helping me next time. I do try and get the kids involved in cooking sometimes. I have a few recipes that I either the kids can do on their own or I can walk them through over the phone as I'm driving home so that dinner's ready when I get here. So that's been pretty nice too. Me too. I am going to throw a pack of chicken drumsticks in the oven soon and eat them for lunch. There you go. Ryan picked me up a torta for lunch. So I have that. Where am I at? No, that's. No, I think I flubbed something up. Okay. 5. This was supposed to be 5, and I went 6. That's okay. And then this is supposed to be 6, and I went 7, didn't I? It's okay. So this one needs to. Okay. 3, 6, 8. Tonight is pizza night, so I can't serve them, and they need to be used up. My husband doesn't like drumsticks. So last weekend I made this broccoli cheddar soup that was so good. I had chicken because Hubs needs meat, but bonus is it was serving size 4. We struggle eating leftovers. Yeah, my household does not like leftovers either. I will take leftovers to work with me, but only once, right? So I really need it to feed 5. All of us once and then me a second time. I actually a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, it was before Thanksgiving. Um, I made green bean casserole, but I added chicken to it to make it like a meal, not a side. That was pretty good. So, what the heck happened there? Oh, I see, I see, I see. Oopsie. It's okay. We got this. It's a leaf, right? It's fine. We're back to wonky leaves, Kate. Good idea about green bean casserole. I really like green bean casserole. My family does, so just adding some protein to make it more filling. Sausage would be a good something too. There's leftover chicken, ham, beef. I can make a new dinner out of those. Yeah. Like chicken stew, beef stew, some casseroles, other stuff. There was one time we had a lot of turkey left over at Thanksgiving, so we made turkey and dumplings instead of chicken and dumplings. That's really good. It's just gonna sit funky. Why? Nope, that doesn't go there. 3 space 2. Which reminds me, I need to see if Ryan will toss out some leftovers when he takes out the trash today. I do also struggle if they've been in there like over a week. Even I am like, I don't know. I'm sure they last longer than that, but I struggle. Eyes twitching. You can see my eyelashes going. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. Yeah, they don't last past trash day. I get that. I have a couple in there that have been in there for more than a few weeks, like, and it's one of those things where like I know it's old and not to touch it, but I haven't actually gotten around to throwing it out. Your limit is 2 days. I want to make some chili soon too because um, they sent over some chili meat, deer meat. Um, so the butcher processed it into chili meat. I don't know exactly what that means because I've never done it before, but they sent like 12 packages of it. So my next few pots of chili will have deer meat in them. It's definitely cold enough for another pot of chili. I haven't had deer meat. Is it gamey? Not in my experience. I don't know if that's because um like it's well processed. Yeah, it cooks up pretty much like ground beef. Um, I've never noticed a gamey taste. I noticed a gamey taste with um goat, but not so much with deer. We live really close to an area that will quickly get overpopulated with deer if we don't have hunters. So, in fact, where my father-in-law got this was actually on a family member's property where they've just there's been too many of them. They destroy the land and stuff like that. So I don't know who that is. That's a weird number. I'm gonna answer this. Give me 1 second. Where's my volume? Hey, it was junk. I'm glad it was junk, but that's annoying. I want to try bison burger someday. Farm, not wild. I think I've had bison before, but I can't remember for sure. Yeah, because I was asking my mother-in-law. I've all the deer that I've always like gone over to her house and had her cooking, and she has lots of experience with it. But this time she just sent me home with some of the frozen stuff. So I asked her with the chili meat, I was like, "Do I cook it like ground beef? Like just put it in the pan and break it apart?" She's like, "Yeah, it'll be chunkier, like it's not as finely ground, so that it's has more of a stew meat type consistency for your chili instead of like small ground beef." But so we'll see. I'll let you know. We're finishing up here. Hi, Lori. Just getting up. Got lost in stitching last night. I feel you, girl. I stayed up until after 1 a.m., but I got my finish in on that on QS Ladybugs last night. So I was dragging getting here this morning. Understand. We have about 10 minutes left, roughly. I do have to go kind of quickly today. I can't linger much afternoon because we've got stuff going on. So, if y'all want to put in guesses in the next 10 minutes, make sure they're over 100 because we did get 100 on Phantom before we started working on Celebrate Halloween. And we've been working on Celebrate Halloween for about an hour now. So hopefully you can factor that into your guessing. You hit 800 stitches. That's awesome. QS Ladybugs was 633 stitches, but all in one color. So Holly says 197. And Janet says 202. Remember, it's always the closest without going over. So even though you may only be 2 away, if you're over, it doesn't count. Lori says 187. Kate says 212. I've not counted any of my stitches on this, so I really don't even have a clue where we're at. Candy says 206 and Susan says 216. Okay, got y'all down. And all it is an entry into a raffle at the end of the month. For what? I have no clue. I usually like come out here the day of and I'm like, ooh, this looks good. 210 for Suki. But the raffle is kind of my way of giving back because y'all have to watch the ads, right? So I make a little bit of money on each of these lives. It's not much, but it's something. And so I like to turn around and give it back to the community in the form of a giveaway. So, plus it gives y'all a little game to play. It's interesting. Good morning, beautiful. What are you doing?
Nothing.
I'm finishing up. I've got 5 more minutes.
No rush.
I want to eat lunch and then we've got that produce thing. So
Did you get a burrito too?
I got a torta.
Ooh.
I hadn't tried one yet. So, well, I haven't tried one from here yet. So I want to try it because the one we had in Odessa was, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Never had one.
Well, you can
I
try
want to
vitamin.
go to Tequila La 5. Some try something.
Are they open tomorrow?
I don't know.
Because
They're pretty consistent with their hours, though. It's just sometimes, got the family emergencies, especially since it's like just their family that does it.
yeah. Um, because, well, I don't know what the situation's going to be tomorrow. So we'll have to figure it out. Because if Nana and Papa are going, they can meet up with us and take y'all. But I'm going to have to work tomorrow night, so I'm going to need to come get a nap in. Dad tried to get Alex to help, but he didn't answer the phone. Stitchin' Darling says 219. Lori, hit that thumbs, please. I see 3 likes. Oh. Stitchin' is 219. I'm horrible about that. I don't ever think to hit the like button. I'm running out of room.
What are you stitching?
Celebrate Halloween from Madame Chantilly. It's one of her tiered trays. I finished Celebrate Christmas a few days ago. And this one's Halloween. But I thought this one was a lot further along than it is. And so I don't know if I'm going to get it finished this month. It was one of my 11 that I thought, oh yeah, that's not going to be any problem. Take a few days. But like, if you look, all of that and all of that. Even Lexi's like, just chip away at it. But like, I've done all of this in the last hour.
Mm.
So it does stitch up pretty quickly.
Especially when you actually stitch.
Yeah. That's what I was telling them. Like, being on the live, I'm kind of accountable to Stitch. I can't, like, oh, look, a game on my phone. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Scroll
happened
through
yesterday.
Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, I don't even know what happened yesterday. One minute it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and the next it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and I hadn't even started stitching. And that wasn't very typical of me. Is that Dad? Yep.
Huh.
Hey there. I have like 2 more minutes. Are you having to go? No. Okay, good. I saw we got that email or that text with the contract.
Yeah.
So we're just finishing up here. I'm gonna start counting in 1 minute, and then we'll see who wins the raffle ticket for today. Has everybody got their guesses in? We got quite a few guesses today. So we're probably watching me get these last few stitches in like, maybe I need to change my guess. All right. I'm going to end it here. And then we will count. I have a whole audience. I've got, oh, Enid says 199. Got in just in time. All right, so we know we have 100 from Phantom. And then we'll see what we got on this. So, oh, it's noon. Let's see. So quiet.
I know.
She's counting. I know. It's like I can't really talk and count, but then at the same time, it's like too quiet. Okay. Okay. So our grand total, Susan says, I definitely think you've done more than I guessed. Our grand total is 296.
Dang.
So that puts Stitch and Darlin at the closest with 219.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, this part stitched up real quick because that's an hour. I did 196 stitches on this. It took me 2 hours to get 100 stitches on the other project. So, all right, I got Stitch and Darlin in for entry number 2 for this month. Suki got it last night. And we will have the raffle somewhere at the end of the month. So thank you all for joining me this morning. I have to head out. We have stuff we got to get done. I will be back. I should be back next Thursday. Watch for the community post to know for sure, but I don't think we have any plans. We have the blood draw, but I don't. I stream at 7 o'clock. We may have to play it by ear because blood draw is kind of, or blood donation. We're donating blood. Kind of wipes me out. So we'll see. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all next time.